Eggplants are part of the sun-loving vegetables and they require a lot of heat. So if you don't have a greenhouse or a hotbed, you can start sowing your eggplants early in the season at home, but there are some rules to follow. If you sow your eggplants too late in the season, you won't be able to enjoy any fruits. And if you sow them too early, you need to follow certain rules, from providing heat to the planting process. Planting will take place starting in May, or maybe a little later, depending on the region. Some gardeners suggest sowing eggplants 1 seed per pot, simply to save a little time. However, you'll lose space because if you're sowing inside your home, you won't have enough room to actually do that eggplant sowing. Well, I have a compromise between direct sowing in pots or trays, and that's micro-motte sowing. The principle of micro-motte is to use a press motte with semi-potting soil and to create small cubes of 17 mm that we place in a tray, which allows us to sow 1 seed at a time on each little cube. It's more convenient to use a seed sower to place the seeds in each cell. I'm going to use a small pusher. Each seed is placed in each hole in each cavity. In this tray there are exactly 48 small cubes of 17 mm. Keep in mind that the germination power of eggplants lasts for 5 years. That's why it's important to save seeds. I can keep that same packet of seeds in good conditions in a cool place for 5 years. So to cover the seeds, I'm sifting some semi-potting soil, semi-cutting soil. My sowing is now done, just a little cleaning around the tray, and I'm covering my sowing with a clear plastic lid, which is really handy and will help keep the moisture inside. You'll notice that I didn't water because the micro-mottes were already moist enough. So we can ventilate this lid. There's a small window that you turn a quarter turn to allow for ventilation. So the ventilation will be done when there's already a nice sprouting. And now to germinate the eggplants, you absolutely need a minimum temperature of 20 degrees. We could even go up to 25 degrees. So I'm using a heating mat, which consists of electric resistors with very, very low watts. But to successfully sow, since we're inside the house, I'm going to use a red spectrum grow light to get nice, sturdy plants. The grow light shines on the sowing from 8 a.m. to 6 or 7 p.m. Under no circumstances should it light the sowing at night. They also have the right to take a break